Hi, I'm Almark. Just want to tell you about WEATNU. We Are the New Underground is one of those types of internet phenomenon that's happening these days. Since so many different innovations and ideas happen in this world, it was best that we had a way to tell people about electronic music that was underground. Part of the problem is most music is unheard these days, so we decided to do something about it by creating a website that gives our users a way to expose their music, and it's all on a global basis right now. We're taking as many people as we can because the electronic underground is so vast and people are doing so many different things these days. So it's important that they get their music heard. Now we have a website for our magazine and a Twitter account, and it's just really doing a lot of things for a lot of people. And we want to change the world with this music, and the best way to do that is by word of mouth. So We Are the New Underground it's one of those things in a millennial type setting, due to the internet being so powerful. So many different people can help. The average musician these days, especially the independent artist, has no way to let people hear their music. Corporations have taken hold of so many things that just to get your music out there is almost impossible to a large audience, and we're developing a larger audience every day. It could be that maybe this is the future, we're not sure, but we do hope that something great comes about. This great experience that I've had trying to get this movement started, and now it is succeeding, has really been quite hopeful for me. Myself being a electronic musician, and I know a lot of other people really want their music to be heard. We're the type of people that like to share ourselves with others. And what better way to share than by using the internet? When you pull together all this music with each artist, it's kind of like everyone gets each other a pat on the back. So that's what WEATNU is doing, and it's become a real success right now. We're having sales in WEATNU Records, and people are reading our magazine, WEATNU Digital Magazine, and so there's a lot of great hope that's been put into this, and we're not going to stop there. We hope that one day larger media outlets will find us. Could be PBS, could be CBC or BBC, but we want to get our story out there, and the only way to do that is by the word of mouth promotion we already have. WEATNU is free. It will always be free. And in the spirit of freedom, the music is now carried on to the ears of the unknown artists, listeners, and there's nothing else we can do but at least try. Last time I spoke about what WEATNU was doing for the electronic artist, and now so much has changed. We're doing the album of the week on our magazine every week, and so far it's been helping gather buzz for the artist. And today it's very difficult for the electronic musician to be heard, and we're giving them a chance to do that. The independent scene is so huge and vast that all we can do is just keep talking about them, word of mouth and all that. But as a group, collective, as people are calling us, that brings their music to the forefront. And since we have a magazine, it gives them the place to be heard, features and all that happening. But most of all, your music is being heard, and are we changing things? I think we are. What used to be very difficult is now becoming a little bit easier. You simply bring your music, to the forefront by being in WEATNU, and since it's free, everyone wins. It's kind of like a perfect world. And I think that's important because we're losing more freedom on the internet because corporations have really, taken away our rights to be independent. What used to be simple is now hard. And I just think, for myself, WEATNU is helping me. It's helping friends I know. The simple act of having someone listen to your music is what makes people happy. And we feel like that if you can't share your work with the world, then what good does it do to have your music on the internet? So, as we continue to progress in 2015, we'll have more, publications. We're hoping that large media finds us. But what's going to happen when that happens? What's going to happen when Vice, PBS, or other media companies discover WEATNU? Will we go the way of mainstream? Will we go the way of corporate? No. Because I personally do not believe in going that way, because that's the way where the masses are now telling you what to do. You're now being shaped and molded according to the standards of today. But that was never the intention of WEATNU. And I think that in the future generations, millennials, people who were born in the 90s, those people will break away from what they've been hearing for the past 15 years and discover electronic music as it's supposed to be discovered. Right now they're searching, and the music industry isn't really giving them what they're wanting, because after a while of hearing the same thing, you've got to change. We're human. If we can't develop and progress musically, then what can we do? We're not robots. The helping electronic music is just part of what a person should really think about, because, like it or not, electronic music is really what's going to be happening. Just as they say EDM is the new rock, WEATNU is taking in electronic music, and WEATNU is not a genre, and we are also not an umbrella, but though many people do like to call us that. We're not corporate. We are the voice of the internet. We are a group of many people who are all craving to just have their music out there. The magazine puts the interviews on, videos, and so the WEATNU Digital Magazine is helping people in ways greater than any other magazine could do, because we're not biased to the musician. We do not take in people who have been on MTV or have have their music played on top 10. We take in the person who just wants to be heard. And without that freedom, we're not really living to be musicians. And people who are artists just want a career in music. And if you can't have a career in music, what do? You make music in your bedroom all the time, and you might have 10 or 12 people listen to you, maybe 100. But wouldn't it be great to live in a world where you post your music and your music sells, and it sells reasonably, enough to maybe pay your bills or to buy yourself some groceries or whatever. We don't think large. We just think simplistic. And that's really all that matters. We Are the New Underground is a breath of fresh air, and we are the wave of the future. Thank you. I'm Almark.